much for joining me today, and let me share with you a quick 30-minute session of systems that I have implemented in my business. For those of you who don't know me, I've been in the real estate industry just over 20 years, and I implemented these systems into my business because I was tired of asking myself, is there a better way to do this? There just has to be. There's systems that I didn't even know that I needed until I did. So the four systems I'm going to share with you today is a time off coverage agreement, a referral follow-up, after closing follow-up, and a signature closing gift. I hope that you are able to pull something of value out of each one of these systems. And I hope that you implement each one of these systems in one way or another into your business. Trust me, after 2 decades of being in the real estate industry, these systems will make a difference. All right, so let's start off with the time off coverage agreement. I call it the time off coverage agreement because this agreement is not for just when you go on vacation. The time off coverage agreement is for the event that's unexpected. Maybe you unexpectedly have to leave the state to go care for a loved one somewhere else that's been injured, or maybe you got sick, or you're at home because one of your kids are sick and your clients are in town just for a weekend and they need to go see these 3 houses because they have to move and make a decision, and you can't go and show them the houses. So that time off coverage agreement addresses all of these situations, including vacation, because truly for all of those out there that think that they'll just work on their vacation, give yourself a break, unplug, take a true vacation once in a while. Trust me, you'll be a better agent for it. All right. So there's some key components, obviously, that need to be into this agreement. The first one being identifying who your person is going to be. Now, you may not know right off the top of your head who that person might be. Maybe you're really struggling to identify who that person is. Lean into your branch manager. That's what we're here for. There's another agent in your office that is looking for somebody like you. They need you just as much as you need them, and maybe you aren't able to see that. So lean into your branch manager. Let them be a matchmaker. You never know. There might be an unexpected relationship there in addition to this time off coverage agreement partnership. It might be an agent that you start collaborating more with. So lean into that branch manager. They see things that you don't, and that we're here to help you. All right. So now that you've identified who your person is, it's time to identify what your expectations are of them for when they are covering your business when you're not there. How is it that you expect them to respond to your clients? What is it that you expect them for your level of care? So lay out what it looks like when you're working with a buyer or a seller. So they have an understanding on how you run your business and they understand what's expected out of them, what level of service is expected out of them, so that when you're off, they are treating your business just like as if it were you. So your clients have a seamless experience. Secondly, or thirdly, you need to identify what that compensation is going to look like. Not every task in real estate requires the same amount of skill level, same amount of time, and same amount of attention. So showing houses, opening up a couple of doors versus negotiating an offer from beginning to end versus reviewing multiple offers in a listing situation. All of those involve different skill sets and a different amount of time. So identify what that compensation is going to look like. It's not going to be the same compensation for showing houses as it is reviewing 7 offers with a seller. Make sure that the compensation that you're offering to that other agent is fair. Don't be cheap. If you're going to be cheap, you're going to get that quality of service in return. And that's not what it is that you want. Also, by not paying a fair compensation and paying it promptly as soon as you get back from your vacation or your time off, that agent will be less likely to jump up and say, yes, I'm here to cover your business. So make sure it's fair and you pay them promptly so that every time that you need a helping hand, that agent is saying yes every time. They're more than willing to help you because they're treated fairly and they're respected and appreciated and valued by you. Don't forget that. Finally, in this, what I want to bring up is a lot of agents tend to say, I'll cover your business if you cover mine, and we'll just trade. I am here to tell you, very rarely does that work out. Very rarely does that feel balanced. Usually one agent takes more vacations than the other, or maybe one agent has a lot of active business while they're on vacation, and maybe you don't have any business while you're on vacation. So trading time rarely works out well over the long term. I have seen and I've experienced it myself, is it causes strain and stress between you and that other agent, and that relationship ends up dissolving. You are looking to build a partnership, an agreement with somebody that can be reliable and a plug and play for years to come. You don't want to recreate this over and over again. So be careful of swapping time. The next system we're going to go over here is a referral follow-up system. Have you ever gotten a referral? You got that call and they say, so-and-so just referred you to me. I found a house. I would love to go take a look at it. Can we set up an appointment and go see it? Well, you've just spent an hour on the phone with them. You're so excited. You have a new client. It's very engaging. So then you get right to work to find them their perfect home. But very rarely do we slow down to really appropriately appreciate the person that gave us a referral. And we have a missed opportunity of getting more referrals. So let's run through this system. What I do is I immediately, after I get that referral, I immediately follow it up with a phone call or a text to say, hey, thank you so much. I got this referral. We just had a conversation. We're going to meet. I really appreciate you thinking of me. Step one. Step two. I have a box of thank you cards in my office, and I have a couple of gift certificates as well to my favorite restaurant. They're $50 each. Yours can be flowers. It could be a gift certificate to someplace else. It can be for any dollar amount. Doesn't matter. Just make it consistent and know what it is that you're going to be giving them. Have the same value to each person that sends you the referral. Keep it in compliance. You are going to send them this thank you gift and this thank you card and appreciation right away. It doesn't matter if that referral ends up working with you or not, or whether they end up getting to the closing table or not. That does not matter. What matters is that person put their name on the line to refer you. And that deserves to be celebrated. So it doesn't matter if we close or get paid from it. Appreciate and thank them. Now, if we are rocking and rolling and we go through different milestones through that transaction with that person that was referred to you, pick up the phone or send a text to the person that sent you that referral and celebrate and reminisce about the experience of what they went through on their journey. Because they went through a big journey as well, if they're a past client, or never a past client, if they're a client of yours. So pick up the phone, celebrate, reminisce, and again, appreciate them for the referral. And then my fourth step in my referral follow-up system, and this is one of the most impactful steps here as well, because towards the end of the year, usually the days are shorter, business starts to slow down a little bit, people check out for the holidays. That's a great opportunity to lean in and appreciate and celebrate the people that have given you referrals over the year, and a great opportunity to stay top of mind for the new year to come. So what I do is I go down the list of the people that sent me a referral. If I have a group, and if you have several people that are sending you referrals throughout the year, throw an event. Have a special VIP referral appreciation event. Go all out. If not, maybe you only got one referral from one client, but they don't know that. Call them on up, invite them out to a special lunch or even a dinner and say, hey, I'm taking out all of the clients that sent me referrals to dinner this year. I just want to show my appreciation, and I'm so grateful that you put your name on out there on the line for me, and that you had trust and value in me enough to refer me to your friends and family. That's a great time to plug in at the end of the year. You can hear about their goals for the year to come, celebrate those with them, and ask for referrals for the year to come. Very often we just get going and busy and we don't take advantage of this great opportunity that they have given us to follow up and ask for more referrals. All right. The next system that I've implemented in my business that I'm going to go over with you here today is the closing gift. Now that might sound silly to you, but I guarantee you've at least once in your career scrambled around the night before closing thinking, what am I going to get these people? I have no idea. How much should I spend? What am I going to get them? They're closing tomorrow. That causes a lot of stress. And a lot of times you end up spending a lot more money on that closing gift than you had intended. So, with this closing gift system, you don't have to reinvent the wheel every single time. You are going to create one signature base package for your closing gift and just plug and play, repeat, rinse and repeat. Here's what mine looks like. I have an essentials category. I have a pop-up bin. I've bought 4 of them. They're really handy for people that need a little extra storage. They're cute little bins I got from Costco. They're $10 each. So I have 4 of them sitting in my closet at home. I throw in a couple rolls of toilet paper because we always need to have toilet paper around us being real estate agents. So throw in a couple rolls of those, some paper towels, some cleaning supplies, and trash bags. Because most of the times when they go over to the house for the first time, they aren't planning on moving in. But how many times have you heard from them when you go into the house with them and they said, I thought the house was to be cleaned? And lo and behold, it's not to their standard. Gosh, that's never happened, right? So this gift is letting them know that you have thought of all the things, that they're walking through their house for the first time. They're going to stay a little bit longer than they had planned. So there's toilet paper. They don't have to run home or run to the store real quick. I also have a little celebratory kind of section in there as well. So this bin is big enough to hold the bulky items of the toilet paper and the paper towels and a couple of cleaning supplies. Then it's a bottle of champagne, a couple of glasses, and then some prepackaged like meat and cheese things from the deli at the store, a little sweet treat in there. And if they have pets, I always throw in like some dog treats or something for the pet as well, because you thought of all the things and you didn't forget their 4-legged family members as well. You can also add a personal touch to this. Now, this is not required. If you don't have one, don't worry. You already have a staple. It's plugged in play. You know what to do. You're good to go. You don't have to stress out and try to reinvent that wheel. The personal touch category, though, It could be, if you think back to what it is that you sent out for your referral appreciation gift, that could be your personal touch that you add to this closing basket. Etsy is a great resource for personalized gifts as well. My favorite personalized gift that I gave away in that basket for a closing that I had came from Etsy. I sent them a picture of the house. They took that picture, turned it into a watercolor. I had them add some flowers to the front yard because they had said that they love sunflowers. So a little inspiration in there as well. And then I put their names and the address and the year they bought their home. That frame photo sits on their wall inside their house. And every time people come on over, so they've told me, somebody always says something about that picture. And so every time they say something about that picture, that is free advertisement, people, all day long. So if you can come up with a personalized gift that you want to add in as a rinse and repeat, where it's something that would stand out, maybe it's even just coasters in the house where when they have guests over, they might say, "Ooh, where did you get that from?" So use your little creativity, but again, you do not have to add a personalized gift. Just have a standard, simple, basic package that you give out to everybody over and over again. Something that's meaningful for them to celebrate and something that shows that you thought of the things that were unexpected that you didn't know that they didn't know that they were going to need. That really will show your expertise and that you have all of the things they need. All right. Finally, we're going to go over the after closing follow-up system. Have you ever had a closing and a couple months later you realize that you haven't talked to those people that you closed on a couple months ago? That is a huge missed opportunity. These people just went through making one of the biggest investments that they ever will in their lives. Whether they're an investor, a flipper, a first-time home buyer, downsizer, doesn't matter. It was a big emotional journey. When we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars, there's some stress involved. So when you go through that journey with them, you create a bond. There's a relationship there. And to have you just disappear after closing could leave them feeling a little, I don't know, loved and left. All right, so using this after closing follow-up system will ensure that they know that they were valued and that you were honored to be a part of this journey with them, and you appreciated that they trusted you with this big investment in their life. So here's how it looks like for me. On closing day, we give them the keys and I have my closing basket. It's usually sitting inside the house because we walk in and I say, let's go in and make sure everything looks good. And then they find their closing basket. So keys, closing basket, please don't be one of those agents that hide the keys for them or leave them at that front desk. No matter how much they say, don't worry, you don't have to go out of your way and meet us for the keys. We'll pick them up from your office, or you can just hide them or leave a contractor box on for them and you'll get it later. Handing of the keys is such an emotional big deal for that buyer. Be in their shoes. This is a big moment. It's the keys to their new home. So don't miss that opportunity and don't be that lazy agent. That night, I add them to my monthly mailing list. I don't go to bed without it being done. On that closing day, make sure they're added to your SOI. I mean, we go through our database, or you should be going through your database quarterly, making sure that it's cleaned up and everybody's in there like they're supposed to. And how many times when you do go through that database, you realize that you forgot to add the 3 people that you closed on a transaction with into that database? Don't miss that opportunity. add them to your database right there on closing date. You know it's done. And then add the date that they closed into your calendar as well, so that you have their house anniversary documented for all the future anniversaries to come. It's a great way to stay in touch, easy checkpoint. And they'll forget, oh my gosh, has it been 5 years? Well, Jennifer has remembered every single year since we've been in our house. That will be memorable. The day after phone call, give them a call, make sure everything's going smoothly. Did you have any hiccups last night? Remind them to contact a locksmith. They want to make sure that they have a fresh set of keys. We don't know who else has a copy of those keys from those previous owners. And I prepare a handwritten thank you card, letting them know my appreciation, just saying thank you for trusting me with your purchase. And I it was an honor to be a part of that journey with you. If you know anybody else who is planning on making a move, please reach out and I will make sure that they get that same white glove service that I gave to you. 1 week after closing, give them a call, check in, or send them a text. We're just checking in to see how they're going and saying, hey, I sent out a survey for you to fill out for a testimonial. When you get a minute, would you mind taking a moment to write a testimonial and fill out that survey that comes from my office, and rate how my service was and how I did for you. So that's your 1 week touch. 1 month is to give a call or a text. Again, making sure everything is going okay. That's usually in that first 30 days. This is your kind of relationship building, letting them transition. Kind of, you're not going to be talking to them every single day. So you're having these touch points. Usually there's a stack of mail for the previous owner sitting on their counter that they don't know what to do with. So you're telling them, what the forwarding address is or whatever arrangements those are. So you have the day after, the 1 week, and a 1 month follow-up one-on-one touch point with them. Every January, I go through for the people that have closed and send them a copy of their HUD statement. Hey, you bought a house last year. This is a copy of your final HUD statement for tax purposes. And then every year follow up after that. They get their house anniversary card. They're on the monthly drip campaign or newsletter or whatever it is that you have for your monthly touch for your SOI. I send them out an annual client review. That is just a snapshot on how the market's done in their area where they bought their home. Whether the market is up or down, I send them out this annual client review because you are their real estate expert. You are their real estate resource. And if the market has softened and it's down for 1 year, don't not send it out. They want to be in the know. And they count on you to be their expert and the one to keep them informed and up to date on the real estate market. I also now add them to my personal check-ins on quarterly phone calls. You've been doing this consistent follow-up since the day after closing because you have this follow-up system. I then pick up the phone and give them a call, or I'll send them a text each quarter when we do our surge phone calls. If you are not reaching out above the automatic drips or mailers that you are sending to your SOI, if you do not reach out intentionally at least once a quarter, you're losing business. This is your opportunity to keep checking in, see how they're doing, see what their goals are, and ask them for a referral. Keep that relationship, build on it, keep that momentum going. So that's what I do for my after follow-up closing system. Yours might look a little bit different, doesn't matter. What matters is that you have one. Every system that you create today buys back time, stress, and creates more predictable business for tomorrow. I challenge you to set aside one day this month to create one system. Maybe it's one of the systems I shared with you today, or maybe it's a listing presentation or a buyer presentation. I challenge you to do one system once a month and get that template, get that system implemented so that you can run your business like a business is intended to be ran, an organized system. Thank you all for joining me today for this quick 30-minute Freedoms Through Systems session with me, Jennifer Cross. If you wouldn't mind just taking a quick minute to scan the QR code, I would love a course evaluation. I appreciate y'all being here, and thanks so much.